All right, hello and welcome everyone to Thursday round 2 at the Fall GT2 GT3GT4 Multi-Class Championship round 2, Watkins, Glen. Hope everyone's having a good night tonight. We're going to be watching this exciting race here. Currently laps in the, here I can check. Currently laps looking like in the mid 146s for Provolone. Everyone else struggling to break in. No game sound. Good reminder. Thank you. How's it going, everyone? So currently just in the free practice session right now, waiting for the action to get underway. About, we have 32 people in the server currently. Might be more to join. I don't think so though, as we're coming to the end of qualifying here. I think everyone that will be joining is going to be in. So 32 drivers on the grid today. A lot of cars out there on this American track. Quite circular. A lot of round corners, 90 degree. There's the S's, of course. Who doesn't love a track with some S's? As we now come to the end of free practice here. Gonna get ready to jump straight into qualifying. Everyone gonna be finishing up their laps. Everyone finishing up their laps, seems like. Gonna see who is the number 17? That's going to be Eric Miller. He is a very old member of the community. I don't mean like old in years of age. I mean he is, but anyways. Eric Miller. Very great guy. Currently in P8. And we see here, it's going to be a grid full of GT4 cars and GT3 cars. The cars going to be going out first in qualifying are going to be the GT3s. Then followed by that will be the GT4s. So we should see here, looking like I said before, GT3s in the high 146s, or low 147s. And then the GT4 drivers are elsewhere. I can't really look anymore. These cars now going to be coming onto track right away. Going to be the GT3 cars here. See all of them peeling out from the pits. Provolone leading the way in that orange, green, and purple Lamborghini. Coming through the S's. Jump on board with them. It's a very difficult track. Track that has a lot of elevation changes. It looks very circular from the elevation or from the map, but once you get on board with these, you can see we're just climbing up a hill right now. Heavy braking late because we're going uphill on that throttle extremely early. Even though this is an outlap, he's just getting heat into the tires, not pushing to full extent. But you can see it's so easy to make a mistake at any point on this track. Right behind him is going to be the number 9 car of Carney's, Gabe Carney's. Driving that Porsche. Not the longest outlap here. Lap times, like I say, about 147, so pretty reasonable. These guys are pushing extremely hard, though, for their outlaps, getting that heat into their tires, as they only have 10 minutes to qualify. After that, they'll have to come into the pits, unless they started their lap before that time, and the GT4 drivers will be coming out onto track. And the reason that we send the GT3 drivers out first, which is contrary to some of our, or rather, because this are our split 1 drivers. Typically, we send the split 1 drivers out second. We want to have it so the GT3 drivers do not get impeded by the GT4 drivers when coming onto track. In case they'd already started a faster lap. This way there is no way you can be interrupted, really. But you guys don't really care about that. I'm sure what you guys are here for is these onboards here from Gabe Carnes. Number 12. Excuse me, number 9. Gonna be coming out of the S's onto the back stretch here. Gonna be going into the inner loop, late braking at the 200 board, riding that curb extremely hard, late onto the throttle, just trying to coast his way through there. It's easy, trying not to oversteer that Porsche's rear end, wanting to step out constantly. Got to get that front end to bite up to 5th gear here, going down the hill now, 3rd gear, round the left-hander. Coming in through the chute, into the toe here. And then coming out onto the boot, climbing up the hill just for a little bit here. Then going to be, once again, another heavy braking section into a strong right-hander of the heel. Just coasting through that off-camber turn. That Porsche, like I say, wanting to step out at any opportunity it can. Gabe doing a great job of keeping it under control so far. Just a lift through that corner. No need to dab on the brakes. Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. And across the line, Gabe Carnes is going to be in P2, I would imagine, or P1. As there aren't too many people to settle at P2. About 1.5 seconds off of Provolone. Not a terrible lap. Everyone else finishing their laps right now. Eric Gukasian coming in at P2 with a 148. It's a 147.6 here from Provolone, being beat by Moffitt here. I don't see too many people on much of an improving lap, it looks like, but I don't know if Race Control does that well. But as we see here, Haight coming up into P6. Everyone continuing their laps. I don't think anyone's going to be taking a cooldown lap, really. A lot of drivers improving. Provolone being one of them, as he is about 0.08 off the time of Moffitt right now. Provolone pushing on this lap already 0.4 up from his previous delta. Moffitt not doing so well. Eric Miller coming up to pole position there with a 147.4. I would imagine that these drivers have a little bit more pace come the end of this session, as I think most of the GT3s have set their laps, couple of them yet to. Provolone here, we can ride on board with him. Fighting that Lamborghini, a very challenging car to drive. Car that has nothing but oversteer, essentially, in my opinion. I never could master it. It's like taming a wild bull. But we see Provolone here, 0.7 up on his time. Going to be coming down the start-finish straight. 0.8. That's going to put him in pole position. 146.8. Very good time. Eric Miller, though, also contesting for pole right now. About 0.4 up. Has a bit of a lap to go still. Plenty of time to improve here. Going to be 0.5 up. Coming on to the boot. Looking like he wants to challenge for that pole position. Guzman as well, right behind that. Car's wanting to step out there. That Lexus, not a traditionally oversteery car, a car that typically likes to stay planted. Eric Miller being very aggressive on that throttle, wanting to take that pole position. Car's letting him by it very nicely there. Lifting through that corner again. Heavy braking here, going to be coming onto the start-finish straight. Coming across the line here. He lost a lot of time from that lapped car. I don't think he's going to get pole here. He sticks it on 3rd. He has another lap if he wants to. Guzman as well, having aborted his lap. Moffitt on a pretty decent lap here. Got a ways to go, though. And the Aston Martin. Lots of variety here in the top field. We have a Lamborghini, followed by an Aston, followed by a Lexus, followed by a Honda, followed by a BMW. So you got, minus the Volkswagen influence, you got Italian engineering, British engineering, Japanese, and German engineering. All on that. And then an AMG behind it. Lots of variety here tonight with these 34 drivers on grid. Both mixed class racing. Currently the GT3 is going to be rounding their qualifying out as Moffitt rounds the final corner here. Not going to be improving on this lap. Ducking out. Looks like that's going to be the end of his qualifying. Going to settle for it, that P2 for now. See if anyone can improve on that. Guzman definitely wants to. Eric Miller about 7/10 down on his time, not looking like he will be. Lackney though, gonna be coming through here, wanting to challenge up to pole, maybe a little bit, at least close, not quite pole. Gonna be challenging into the low 147s though, potentially into the high 146s. Gonna be looking for that P2, maybe P3 here. As you can see through the carousel here. Climbing the hill once again. Hear that Ferrari crackling as the fuel drips into the exhaust. Guzman takes pole position. Didn't see that until just now. Low, mid 146s. Very nice lap, beating Provolone out by an 800th. Oh, and it's going to be an invalidation, I think, there from Spool. You hate to see it. Spool was on an absolute flyer of a lap. I think that would have put him close to second place, maybe third. But unfortunately, invalidates that lap. Provolone still pushing along here. Not quite doing so well. You can look a bit further down Beachley here. Currently in P14, about a second and a half up. Looking to improve very much on their time. And jump on board with them. The Audi 17 or 18 Audi. As he's going to be coming through this sector that I don't think has a name. Could be wrong. And then rounding the final corner here. Beachley's going to be coming across the line. Where will this time put him? Going to put him all the way up to P8. He improves massively. That's going to be his last lap. He's going to be slowing down here, coming to an end as the GT4s now come onto track. And I don't see any more improvements really we see here. Actually, we have Marcelo Indelicato. That felt very wrong. Indelicato. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Gonna be looking to improve their time a little bit here. Currently sitting down in P13. About equal on their delta. The nice Aston Martin livery there. Yellow and black striping. Well, black and then yellow striping. Number 22. Gonna be coming around the penultimate corner now, rounding the final corner. Gonna be up a few tenths on their delta, currently in P13 and coming into the pits. Anticlimactic. But while this was happening, we can jump down to the 30 car of Ali Raza, leading the way for the GT4 field here in that Porsche. Behind him, looks like the McLaren of, is it Ricky Scott behind him? It is. Very pink Nause Racing. We got some love here for Muff and Guzman. Both of them having a very good qualifying. But here, you see Ollie Raza and Ricky Scott, well, currently Ricky Scott, underway as we'll hop on board with him as he also has a front row view for Ollie Raza's lap. Ollie Raza, a very fast driver. Same with Ricky Scott, using that toe to the full advantage. Going to be shifting up to 6th there. Not sure that was necessary. Could have just kept the revs up. Maybe losing a couple hundredths of thousandths, honestly. It doesn't really matter. Holy smokes, Guzman. It was an absolute madman. Gifting 5 tier 1 subscriptions. Thank you so much. Absolutely awesome, dude. Much appreciated. Like, actually cannot thank you enough. That's so cool. If you show some love here for J Goose Gaming in the chat, that'd be much appreciated. That is absolutely awesome to see. Thank you very much. I hope you have a really good race tonight. The very solid qualifying thus far. That's really awesome. Thank you very much. That's a lot of support. Genuinely, it goes a long way. But back here with Ricky Scott. We're going to see him coming across the line here. Where will this put him? Well, I would imagine it's going to put him in a P1 or 2 for now in his class. And so we're going to see a lot of times getting shuffled around. Ricky Scott, though, going fastest in the GT4 for right now. Looks like Ollie Raza actually having invalidated their lap. I got you as P6 here, Guzman. I could be wrong. But thank you very much once again. And then, of course, also throwing in, wow, absolutely amazing. Dropping 6 subscriptions. Absolutely amazing amount of support here. I know someone might have left. They might be back. But yeah, thank you so much, Jay. That's going to be here. Just take a quick look at him in the pits. Absolute legend here. 129 car in the Honda. Best of luck to him in the race. We have Ondo joining us. Ondo, welcome. Guzman here dropping 6 subscriptions. It's giving him a nice, just a second recognition. Very, very generous indeed. I'm back. I want to see Ricky or Ollie Raza, as I've seen a lot of Ricky Scott now. In fact, we have a Maserati in the field. In fact, here we're gonna go on board with the Maserati. That's Andre Alex Alfonso. Afonso. There's no L there. I'm doing great, Ondo. How about yourself? So far today has been very chill. And we're just underway in this qualifying session, getting ready for some mixed class racing. We got Gaming with Peoples here. Welcome, welcome. I think I missed you earlier, sorry. Bonzo currently not quite up on his time, and also still yet to set a time. So this is actually just going to be their out lap. We'll hop back on board with them once their lap gets going here. Dude, you got P3 in your first rookie race. Awesome, dude. Congratulations. You're moving up. Not going to be a rookie for long. Currently, we can take a look at the grid here. Ollie Raza setting pole position for the GT4s down in P19, which I know is a little confusing, but behind him is going to be Matt Paremba in P20 or P2, Ricky Scott in P3, Mostasero in P4, Clarice taking a very alternate route here for P4. And now here we see Afonso. He is now flying on his lap, currently 6/10 up. We hear that short shift in that Maserati. Sounds amazing. Gonna be downhill here. Gonna be coming through the laces. Into the carousel. That Maserati, no traction control, no ABS. Gonna be coming down the boot here, into the heel. Braking at the looks like about the 150 board. And gonna be coming up to some lap traffic here, or rather not lap traffic, but whoa, that Maserati, big moment stepping out. As you can see, the lack of traction control there, almost getting the best of Afonso, but not quite. Afonso still holding on to that, improving massively on his time, currently sitting down in P28. Where will this put him here? Improving with 7/10. Gonna put him up in P26, up 2 positions there. Overall, that will put him 8th in his class. We see Buckman down here. See some love for Brunner and Buckman. Currently, they're separated by a couple cars. Afonso getting in the middle of their love. Yes, the Maserati does, in fact, do that. I can't disagree. I will say, though, I love the sound of the Audi. Looking down here at Jeremy Story. And that 584 Audi. A very nice livery, Fanatec inspired livery. Yellow checkered board. And yes, it's going to be extremely hectic. I am looking forward to see how these GT4s make it through the GT3 carnage, as I expect more GT3 carnage than I do GT4. Especially big shout out to our rookies from our Monday Rookie League, who have been driving absolutely amazing lately. Just providing honestly, some of the best racing content I've seen in a very long time. And very entertaining overall, and all of them are driving extremely fast here. And we see Maserati, though. Oh, yes. Coming across the line. 7/10 up. Should improve them quite a bit here. Improves them about 4 positions. Afonso going to be going up to P21. P3 overall in that. Why did I forget Maserati for a second? Ah, smug. That's how Guzman got his position. But that's all right. It happens. You did a great job in qualifying. His qualifying now has come to an end. Almost, actually. I take that back. We have Kozlowskis here, who's yet to set a time. Going to be coming across the line here. Going down to P33. The 158 for pole position for the GT4 is being 155.7 by Ollie Raza. and those times are now gone. It's all right. We have any decent camera angles here? Not really. To make our own. So, starting in pole position here, we have Jason Provolone. As I can... There we are. We see Jason Provolone here, starting in pole position. Followed up behind him will be Eric Miller in the Lexus, 17 Lexus. Behind that will be C. Guzman in the 139 Honda. Lining up next to him will be the 223 Honda 223 Aston of Moffitt. Behind that's going to be the Ferrari, one of the only Ferrari on the grid, pretty much. Only Ferrari, at least in the top 23 of Spool. Behind that will be Sapien, then Jay Guzman, the absolute legend, who is starting in 7th. So that answers that, I guess. Chronotis, that's not Chronotis, that is Wolfie. Chronotis' teammate. Going to be behind that Eric Gakassian, qualifying in P9. Nice qualifying indeed. Beachley, that nice green and white livery. And the Audi, going to be starting in P10. Behind that will be Martin and Camacho. Then we have, I know I pronounced it earlier. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Indelicato. Then we have Masters. Behind that will be Vericosa. Then the nice little, I don't know why that Porsche, it was so adorable to me for some reason, but Carnus. A lot of no livery Porsches in a row here. Got Haight, followed up by Polsky, then Ollie Raza, followed up by Pormeba, and then I need to do this. We'll go all the way, yes. And then we do more this. So we left off at Pormeba, who is in the 949 Mercedes. There's Ollie Raza there. Then Poremba, 949 Mercedes. Behind that is going to be the GT4 Maserati, no traction control, no ABS 999 car of Fonzo, the lovely lap that we were on board with. Ricky Scott going to be behind that in the McLaren, just getting beaten out. Mastachero in that Porsche in the 23rd position. Behind that will be Carries in the 24th, 25th for Shoot. Brunner, 26th. 27th is going to be Story. Then we have 28 for Lottis. Then Chronotis going to be all the way back here down in 29. Then in P30, Buckman, Mastachero, P31, Mike Burkov. The lovely livery today. Very colorful. Prismacolor. Then we have Kozlowskis in P33. And bringing up the back of the grid, William Collin. As we see these cars now getting underway for this outlap here. Plenty of hype in chat. Good luck to all the drivers here. We hear the cars getting underway. And that is the only Ferrari in this entire field. So lots of drivers here tonight, very eager to make up some positions. A lot of drivers, in my opinion, out of place from where they otherwise would be. But a lot of very fast drivers here tonight. All of them very, very competitive. So we'll see. Should be a very exciting race here. Eric Gakassian sitting down here in P9 in that BMW. Not too eager to get any heat into their tires. Very, what's the word? Satisfied with their tire heat. Behind that's going to be Beachley and that 18 Aston. They're going to be coming around the outer loop here. Bacardin, love for Eric. Which one, though? There's two of them. Because we have Eric Miller and Eric Gakassian here tonight. But love for both of them, I'm sure. as we have an hour and 15 race here. 1 mandatory pit stop. I think mandatory to take fuel, no mandatory tire change. There you go, you don't discriminate between Erics. Perfect. And yes, there will be no tire changes required here, I don't think. And I don't think drivers will be taking tires if they don't have to, especially because this track, not exactly a high degradation track, one of the lighter deg tracks. Lots of time to cool down your tires on the straights. These corners, not the hardest on your tires. We're going to be getting ready here. Coming to the final sector. The cars are going to be lining up here. Noah's Ark formation, 2x2. And now is a great time to get hydrated. Take a nice sip of water. As they now should actually now get ready to go into Noah's Ark formation. I was a little early on that one. Yeah, we can check that pressure. We can see here track about 32 degrees track temp. Ambient temperature a lot less than that, 26. No wind. Optimum track. No rain predicted. I'm confident in saying that this time. It's going to be a nice and cloudy one here in New York at Watkins Glen for round 2 of the Trackalicious GT3GT4 Multi-Class Championship. As we are getting ready to go underway here, the drivers going to be eager to get started. We're green here at Watkins Glen. The starting in the marbles is Provolone, but getting a really good start. Eric Miller not getting the best. Guzman creeping up behind him. Moffitt down the inside. Moffitt's going to get that position secured, it looks like. As actually, no, he's not. I got the cars mixed up. Guzman is going to secure that position. Very nice job. Moffitt, not quite. A little bit back. We see a lot of people getting through. Everyone so far, so good. We see cars going around the outside there. Is that a Porsche? I think that's Ollie Raza getting overtaken by Polsky. Very nice overtake there. Ollie Raza struggling for pace, it looks like. And we see it late on the brakes into the chicane. No contact. It looked like maybe a little bit up ahead. But so far, so good. Very, very clean. Oh, we do see a yellow flag. We see quite a few cars around here. Mike Burkov. Oh, that's unfortunate. Almost a clean start. We made it to the inner loop and then unfortunately had disaster, but... Oh, no, that was not good. Go back and check that one out again. So I didn't really fully see that. So that just looked like a blatant... Oh, there's cars on the track! Oh, no. That's never what you want to see, but here we're resumed back into side-by-side racing here for P19. Story getting overtaken by Haight. It's absolutely carnage everywhere on this track, which surprises me because I guess turn 1 is the first sector isn't really too challenging, I suppose, but still we see the front runners here staying in their qualifying order pretty much all the way through and through. I don't think anyone really lost position all the way up to P10 pretty much. At least the top 10 I think didn't change whatsoever. Very interesting. We see here Eric Miller not quite with the pace to hang with Provolone right now. Guzman's going to be pressuring him. A bit further down we see Jose Guzman. They're going to be chasing down that pack of Sapien. Jose Guzman, absolute legend, gifting 6 subscriptions. Just absolutely insane. And why don't we hop on board here with Beachley? As we see Beachley chasing down Martin. Gonna go down the inside. Gonna have the outside corner for the carousel. And we see the Aston in the wing mirror too, tucking down the inside. I think we're gonna see an Aston peeling through our right side there just a little bit, and unfortunately Beachley looks like he is going to lose out to this Aston. They're going to have the inside corner for the next one. Coming into braking, Beachley is going to lose out there to Masters. He was looking for a move there on Martin. Gets caught sleeping. Martin still leading this pack though. Has this pressure. Everyone wanting to get by him, but he's doing a great job of defending so far. Let's look a little bit further back in the GT4 field here. We see Cronotis chasing down Nause. Actually, I want to see this battle here. Afonso in the Mazda is going to be chasing the Porsche. This is a massive battle for what looks like P21 all the way down to P25. Mad Moses, thank you for the follow. BBB Gaming got some Provolone support. Provolone doing absolutely awesome right now, leading the way by a second. And Afonso running off the track, and he's gonna go wide into the barrier. That lack of traction control, unfortunately, getting the better of Andre there in that battle. He's going to be squeezing, and it looks like he might. Wow, he runs that Porsche out of room, but Kozlowskis, being very smart, backs out of it. Looks like Kozlowskis doesn't want to wait whatsoever. Sees an opportunity, a wounded Mazda in front of them. Hears the cries and wants to get in. So far, so good for Kozlowskis. Looking a little bit more up, we see Story doing absolutely wonderful. Currently in P2, chasing down Brunner for P3 of class GT4. This is the mixed class. And we see side-by-side action here. Story wanting to go down the inside or outside of Brunner. Not quite late enough on the brakes in that Audi. Needs to just brake just that slight bit later. But as we see there, Brunner braking very late and using all the track to his advantage. Doing a great job of it as well. Pushing to the absolute limit. These drivers, we can hop on board with them just to see. Following in this, I mean, these conditions are not the worst. They're actually arguably the best. But still, they are driving these conditions immaculately. And the leaders there going to be approaching lap traffic within probably the next 20 minutes. We see down the inside, very late on the brakes, is Story. Sees an opportunity there to go down the inside of Brunner. Doesn't quite get it, though. Going to be waiting right there. He can't make a mistake, though, as Shoot is right behind him in his mirrors. Any mistake, and he will be basically thrown to the wolves. And Shoot is going to look down the inside here. Can Story defend enough? We see Guzman. Oh no, with the yellow flag, and I should not have gone off that battle. Story does defend from Shoot for now. But I need to see what happened to Guzman. Guzman, the absolute legend. Ah, I didn't see it in time. Unfortunate. A race qualifying in P7, Juan Guzman. A race unfortunately going from not bad, I mean going from good to bad. He still has plenty of time to make it up. Hour and 7 minutes left. See Guzman drop down to P16, still in it with the GT3s. Got a little bit to catch up, but nonetheless, can make it happen. Story still chasing down the lead. Brunner holding that off for that GT4. And I do want to jump up to the front pack here very soon. It's actually, I think we see Guzman. Whoa! Gonna have a almost collide there with Ali Raza in the Porsche GT3 car, GT4 car. Very, very close indeed. And losing out. And Eric Miller gonna be shoving his way through there. Is Moffitt, actually, that was Moffitt getting by. I want to go back and see that one. That was a very nice overtake. Eric Miller defending the inside very heavily. And Moffitt in that Aston just goes extremely extremely late on the brakes, makes the corner, stays on track. That is a clockwork overtake right there from Moffat. Absolutely lovely. Eric Miller struggling a little bit now. Lackney is going to be right on their tail. A bit further back, we see Beachley chasing down Masters. Plenty of action here right now in this race. As we see the GT3 field pretty much is actually it's going to be a while till they catch the GT4 field. GT3 is lapping at about 146 currently. 146.4 is the fastest lap. 146.45 for GT3s. For GT4s, we're looking at 157. So pretty good pace in general here. Everyone lapping not terribly whatsoever. And Beachley pressuring Masters like there's nothing else. We'll hop on board with him. And we have plenty of Muff support. In fact, you know, well, Muff, he's got a little bit to go till he catches, but currently in P3. But absolute plenty of Muff members in chat. Loving it. Love to see it. Whoa! And having to actually hit the brakes there is Beachley lapping the fellow Audi of Story. There was a big crash. I did not see it. GT4 in Sector 3, unfortunate. You hate to see it. I unfortunately didn't catch it. We see a car off there that was a GT4 car getting lapped. As you can just see how challenging it is to lap these cars. And I want to look a little bit further up here at Guzman chasing down Provolone. I think Guzman smells blood in the water here. Wants to take that opportunity early, as there is plenty of time in this race. Yeah, the GT4 field looking fairly split up, so. Yes, blame the commentator, but also Provolone. You got to get that stinky cheese in chat for Provolone as he's leading, but how long will he be leading for? Is actually Provolone pulling out that pace in that Lamborghini. Car very difficult to drive, and he makes it look extremely easy. We see yellow flag for Kozlowskis. That's a bonnet scoop that does not look fully attached, unfortunately. Beachley still chasing down Masters. And actually a bit further up ahead, Lackney on Eric Miller here. We see in that Ferrari coming through the chicane. The outside loop, outer loop. There it is. And he absolutely eager to get by Eric Miller, knows he has the pace. Spool doing everything he can, but just has to be patient for right now and wait for his opportunity. Big send into the carousel, closes up that distance. Round the outside, it looks like Eric Miller gonna go extremely defensive here. We see him side by side. There's a touch. And Lackney, late on the brakes, gonna have the inside for, oh, but he isn't off! Keeps it out of the barrier, it looks like stays on it. But what happened there? As we see, there's a bit of contact. We'll go hop on board with him. Oh, he just has a snap, a violent snap of oversteer and a minor touch with the barrier. And we're in the middle of nowhere. Want to see some Eric action? Which Eric action? That's the real question, because we do have two Erics. Apparently a lot of battles resolving on track here. Mike Burkov chasing down Buckman. KTM Master. The KTM Master is currently not the KTM Master. He's currently the BMW Master, because the way that this league works is that we switch from GT3 to GT4 every single week. So it is a mixed class. We have GT3s and GT4s on the grid. One week you will be driving GT4. The next week you'll be driving GT3. That way everyone gets to drive all the action. So very, very interesting format. And so far it's worked out quite well. Eric benefiting from it especially. Yeah, mixed GT3s and GT4s. This is our Thursday league. This is round 2 of our Thursday league. And Eric just getting by, or right, actually, excuse me, Wolfie, right on Eric's tail. See if anything can happen from that. Eric, one to defend quite heavily. And actually, I want to go back. Oh, these are pit stops. We see pit stops being made. Driver's going to be coming out here. Nah, Nelt. This format is not too scary. It is honestly some of the most fun racing basically out there. And yes, I know we actually got a little bit of battle for Eric and I turned off of it. My bad. But no, this format, it's all about surviving. It teaches you how to race very, very fairly. Because you will be the slower driver at one point, and you have to respect that. And now I want to see one position up ahead. We see Lackney right back on the tail of Eric Miller, as he had that violent snap of oversteer in this sector last time around. Right behind him. I'll hop on board with him for right now, as I don't think he's going to be making a move. Maybe into the carousel. We'll see if he goes for that lunge that he did last time. Very late on the brakes. Not late enough, though. And actually, Miller running wide. That's going to give Spool the very good run here. Going to have the inside angle for the next corner. And the advantage with late braking. I think he's going to seal that up very handedly. Eric Miller getting overtaken by Spool. And we see yellow flag just up ahead in the 88 car of Kozlowskis. Looking like they're rejoining the track just fine. And a bit further up ahead, see Muff chasing down Guzman and getting through this lap traffic. Doing plenty of things at once here. I will say, being the GT3 car can be a little bit much sometimes, especially. But like I say, knowing when to overtake is everything. This format teaches you that especially, because the only way that you can learn, unfortunately, is by making the mistakes. And that's what's kind of fun about it as well, is that we're human and we all make mistakes. And we see, I think, just up ahead there, Provolone and Guzman scrapping it out. And then, oh, Guzman getting held up heavily from lap traffic. I think that's Mike Burkov in the Audi there. No one benefiting from it, though. All these drivers just having to stay 1-1 until they finally can get unleashed here, dealing with all of these lapped cars. That is the absolute attitude to have, Gat. Dave. Because with that attitude, you're right. And yeah, just keep that up. Bit further back, we see Camacho gonna be absolutely eking to get by Martin. Yeah, very true, Smug. That's very true. We see yellow flag for Gabe. Looks like a self-inflicted error there. Let's go back and see that one. Sorry to put Gabe on the spot here, as he actually, I thought he was having a pretty good race earlier. Must have been involved in one of those incidents, and he just gets on the curbing a little too much, unsettles it, and when that Porsche goes, it goes. Absolutely no stopping it there. And we see almost 3 wide here. Beachley oh man, Indelicato. I'll get that one, I will. And Masters all battling it out. And Camacho for that matter. We see here Masters trying to go around the long way of Camacho, but he will have the inside corner if he goes late enough on the brakes, but he doesn't. He tucks in behind, and oh my. Indelicato here, chasing him down. We'll hop on board with Indelicato. I will get this name. Marcelo Indelicato here chasing down Masters with Beachley right behind him. Indelicato runs wide. That's going to give Beachley the opportunity here. Beachley at that Audi. Can he get it? Not quite. Masters still right behind Camacho, not giving an inch. Extremely late. Man, Indelicato handles that Aston Martin very... Oh, he was too late on the brakes, that's why. Never mind, I take back what I was about to say. Oh my, and he goes onto the grass. Massive save from Indelicato. I want to go back, and actually I think that was the worst time. I think they just had a collision, and I went back at that time, which is... Oh, and then there's even more involved. Oh no. Okay, well... I regret everything. As there was a collision from them, and I got a little too jumpy on the replay button, and I don't know how to cancel it. Guzman actually losing out to Moffitt. Moffitt coming out of the woodworks, and is going to be challenging for P1 here. So we'll see if he can get anything done, maybe with pit strategy, as it looks like he's suffering from this lap traffic a little bit. Guzman being very determined right behind him. And I also want to go back. Eric Gakassian here, battling with Lackney. I think Lackney must have got by him fairly recently, but having a bit of a moment. They're going out onto the grass, extending the track. And that Ferrari running very wide. BMW hot on the tail. We'll see if he can do anything here. Hopping on board, tucks down the inside, late on the brakes. Not going to make anything of it just yet. Pressuring Lackney into a mistake is what he's trying to do, and he does just that as Lackney touches the barrier. Is that going to be enough here for Eric to get by? Eric going to be right behind him here, coming into the final corner, down the inside, sends it, and is going to hold on to that position. Lovely overtake there, forcing the Ferrari into a mistake, takes that P5. Now has lapped car of Afonso in front of him there, the GT4 Maserati to deal with, and actually Eric almost... Looks like he almost gave up that position there to Lackney, but not quite. Holding on to that position. I don't know if this battle has concluded just yet, though. And here we go. I think we're going to see from Lackney, maybe, as he bides his time and waits. Lackney has the pace in that damaged Ferrari. Oh, but he's... rear ends Eric, and Eric is off into the barrier. Oh no. We need to go back and see that here, as we see just too late on the brakes for the Ferrari, unfortunately. I think what happened there is that GT4 came up a little bit too quick. I don't think Lackney saw it, and I think Eric hitting the brakes earlier than Lackney expected, and just getting sent to the Shadow Realm. Eric Gukasian. Very unfortunate way to go about his race there. Even more damage for Lackney. We see Camacho there with an offing. Take a look back here at the GT4 field. So we see a bit of battles going on between a GT4 and a GT3, actually, of hate and story. It's my bad. So not really much of a battle. But a bit further up ahead here, we see Beachley and Delicato and Vericosa all fighting. Lots of cars here. Eric Gukasian looks like he's going to be holding up this pack. Actually, he comes into pit here. Very smart going in for his repairs this early. Beachley chasing down in Delicato. And hoping that that lap traffic there of Ricky Scott can hold them up just a little bit. Looks like actually Delicato gets by with ease. Will Beachley have that luck? Coming into the chicane. This is not the spot you want to be behind a slower car. Getting a little impatient. Goes around the outside. Makes it work though. The GT4 yielding on the inside there of Ricky Scott. We see plenty of action here. Beachley under pressure from Vericosa. We see the pits happening. A lot of drivers in the pits now making their one mandatory pit stop, and we see a driver in the barrier of Vericosa. Let's go back and see what happened there. Let's go on board with them. Does it look like just a massive snap of oversteer coming through the carousel? Probably just getting on the throttle a little too early, actually. Oh, man. Looks like the car in front had a tiny bit of a moment, and it just kind of startled him and unsettled the car, and when the car went, it just didn't stop once again. We see cars coming out of the pits here. I think that's a GT4 car, Brunner. See Wolfie chasing down Spool. Looks like most of the drivers, it's actually here we can check through this screen. Most of the drivers staying out for right now. Still 48 minutes left to go in this race. Plenty of time indeed. We'll see which strategies drivers manage to take. A lot of drivers having some damage. Might be optimal to go in and get it repaired, but a lot of these drivers, having planned for a longer fuel stint, want to stay out as long as they can to maximize the low fuel load, and that way they can get the most pace out of their car. We see Afonso wanting to take on Mastachero in that Porsche, the Maserati. Cool, it has a bit of a moment. It's all good though. They're about to get lapped, so we'll see if that Maserati can try to make anything of these lap traffic. No, not quite. And we actually see it looking like the switchback there with Mastachero. Whoa, and the Aston of Indelicato almost having a tank slapper and going into the barrier there. A lot of these drivers looking like they're struggling. I'm not sure if it's due to tire wear or car wear. This is a lot of these drivers making some uncharacteristic mistakes, I would say. And Brunner here. I think that is actually for position with a GT3 for the front of the field. Brunner leading the GT4s, followed by Carisse, then Mastachero. And we actually see some side-by-side action here between think that is... Oh, that's Gabe Carter. That is lap traffic. I appreciate it, Wet Sock. And leading the GT3 field, of course, we got Provolone, the Stinky Cheese Man, 2 seconds up on Moffat. Moffat doing an absolutely stunner of a job, basically just driving the race that he needs to and keeping his nose out of trouble. All three of these top runners still need to pit. Guzman in 3rd position. We see a drive-through penalty from Varricosa. And we also say, excuse me, Jose Guzman. I always forget that there's 2. Jose Guzman, absolute legend. Once again, I want to just say, cannot thank him enough, dropping 6 subscriptions in chat earlier. Absolutely, I mean, he started in P7. Unfortunately, his race did not go particularly well, but absolutely legend of a man. I'm sure we'll see better results from Jose in the future, as we've seen in the past. Like I say, qualifying in P7. He's a very fast driver indeed, but looking up a little bit further ahead here, we're going to be running with Wolfie. I don't know if that was... I don't know if my brain did that intentionally, but yeah. Lackany under pressure from the Wolf. That BMW power. German power against Italian horses. See who is faster. Havarti is where it's at. You're absolutely right. Havarti is... Yes. That's prime. Swiss and Havarti are my 2 go-to cheeses. Well, I guess I should say Havarti then Swiss. Wolfie, not quite with the pace right now to get that overtake. Ah, yes, Zach. That is true class. That is extremely, extremely classy. Sharp cheddar? Okay. Sharp cheddar's good. Provolone, honestly, I haven't had enough provolone. That's, I need to have more provolone in my life. Don't take that out of context. Feta is really good. Colby Jack, I haven't had enough. Munster, I don't even think I've ever had. American cheese isn't cheese. American cheese is plastic. Jason's got all the provolone right now because he is leading this race by 2.5 seconds and doing a great job of it. Is American even cheese? Or is that just like the byproduct that comes out of like the parts of the cow that we don't really speak of? Let's see here. A little bit further back. Jump back to the action, getting more onto the relevant topic here. We'll jump on board with the Mazda. Chasing down Alfonso here, chasing down Mostachero once again. I think this is the battle that's been happening for a while now, but Alfonso making a few mistakes. You know, Vulcan, that's fair. I've never gotten American cheese from the deli. I might have to take that up. We'll see. Actually here as well, a bit further back, we see Mike Burkov for P24, P23 that is, taking on Lattis in that Audi, all over Lattis, and there will be some lap traffic. They're going to go 3 wide for a second. And Indelicato with a stop-go 30. I'm not sure when that happened, as we were talking about cheese for way too long there. Chat still going on about cheese, but that's alright. Nothing wrong with it, as cheese is somewhat relevant with Provolone leading this race, and actually just lapping. I think that was Provolone getting by Mike Burkov and Lottis there. Mike Burkov still trying his best right now. Lottis doing a great job of defending. And Mike Burkov will hop on board with him in this Audi. We'll see if he's struggling here or not to keep up. Getting lapped right now. We see the car tucking out into the... Whoa, man. Provolone almost collecting Lottis there. Lottis coming into the defensive line. Yeah. Wow. Very aggressive there from the Aston Martin. You can see just how talented some of these drivers are. I mean, making that overtake in that corner is not easy from either driver's point of view. The Honda there getting by. That's Guzman. C. Guzman. Jose Guzman, the other Guzman brother, not having the best race back in P12. Now Mike Burkov isn't going to have much lap traffic for a while. He can work in peace now, trying to overtake Lottis. We have a follow from Taco Man. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Oh, and I got a raid earlier from Mad Moses. I apologize. I didn't see that. I must have my notification off. That's not good. I need to fix that. But thank you very much. I apologize for that late recognition, but thank you, Mad Moses. That's really cool of you. I thank you very much. And Mike Burkov there getting by Lottis. Finally. Be very satisfied indeed, and Lottis falling behind a little bit here, and now going to be lapped by Sapien. A bit further up, we see Vericosa actually side by side. This is for the race. No, it's not for the race lead, because Vericosa is under GT3 with Brenner. Brenner's still leading the GT4 pack here, and doing a great job of it. Oh, I mentioned oh man, that's unfortunate. I wish I saw the raid. Yeah, my bad. I'll have to fix that for next time. Something's always got to break in a stream, doesn't it? It's just how it goes. Indelicato still with that stop go 30. In fact, that might be another stop go 30. His race was going very well, but after these penalties, just not going well, unfortunately. That's another race that has gone very poorly, but other drivers benefiting quite a bit from that. Bucknam here, one of them. I think he currently in P4 in class, or P5 in class. Vivacious, what's up? How's it going? We'll do a quick breakdown here of positions. Yeah, exactly, Taco Man. It happens. Something's got to break every time, but it's all good because we're watching some awesome racing here. These drivers in the front still yet to pit. Of Provolone here, we see not the best camera angle actually. We see Provolone P1 currently leading the field, followed by Moffitt doing a great job, absolutely pushing their way through this field so far. And basically just keeping their nose clean, as I said before. Guzman doing the same thing. Carlos Guzman, absolute animal so far, driving the wheels off that Honda. Eric Miller having a little bit of struggles in that Lexus, but nonetheless keeping that P4 for right now. Wolfie not really too close, currently lapping I think that is the P1 of Brunner for GT4, but we'll get to that. Beachley here running all on his own. Kind of has no one around him down in P6. Gabe Carnes in P7. Followed up behind that is going to be Camacho in P8. Then we have P9, Lackney here, who is chasing down Camacho currently. And Sapien down in P10. Guzman in P11. Eric Gukasian, whose race was going great, honestly, and unfortunately just had a minor incident that turned major, and race went from good to worse. Then we have Alex Martin here in P13, Vericosa in P14, leading the GT4 field. We have Will Brunner in P15, carries P16, Afonso P17, Mostachero in P18, and currently lapping. There's two Mostacheros. I forgot that I'm great at what I do. Haight is going to be in P19, Bucknam P20, Mike Burkov P21, Lottis P22, Indelicano P23, Masters P24, Ollie Raza P25, Story P26, Ricky Scott P27, Chronotis in the pits, not sure where he's going to be coming out. Paremba going to be probably up here in about P28, I would imagine, yeah. And yeah, Ricky Scott is out of the pits in P27. Chronotis coming out of the pits here in P29. Mostachero, P30, and Shoot down here in P31, bringing up the back of the field for the GT4s. And that completes our grid rundown. Currently, at the half-minute mark, looking a bit further up the field, we have Lottis, who I think actually just got passed by Indelicano. Unfortunately, we see a yellow flag. It's the people entering the pits. That was needlessly exciting for no reason. Provolone continues on for right now, but Moffitt and Guzman, both of them coming into the pits. We'll see. I don't think either of them are going to take tires. Probably just fuel. Looking like a good stop there from Guzman. And then up ahead, Moffitt. Not having to readjust, getting a very good stop as well. Thank you, Neltak. I appreciate that. We see a yellow flag. That's Mike Burkov in the pits. Okay, we see an actual yellow flag, though. Let's see this. Mostachero, what happened here? Thanks, Fulcard. Or, Bacardin. I get your first and last name confused. Oh! Mostachero for getting the middle pedal there. Whew! That was an impact. And, hopefully he's okay. Looking like the driver not moving in the cockpit right now. That was quite the impact. I think there was a couple G's involved. Yeah, that was a big one. Anyways, Moffitt down in P4 coming out of the pits. That was an extreme impact. I don't, man. Moffitt here chasing down Guzman. Still after the pits. We still see that 84 car. Need the marshals to get out there and resuscitate this man immediately. We have a man currently unconscious on track of Diego Mostachero after a massive impact with the wall. He has rip wrists. Yeah, no kidding. He has a direct drive wheel, yeah. Camacho here. And that number 7 AMG in P7 here. Chasing down Gabe Carnus. And the number 9 Porsche. Oh, and looks like actually Carnus running wide. Getting held up by that Maserati, but not quite the opportunity he was looking for there. He went for the gap. He still is going to try to hang on to it, round the outside, carry the momentum, but that's a banked corner. You're just going to lose all your momentum, unfortunately. And, yeah. Very unfortunate. Looks like they did get the tow truck out there and bring that man back to the pits, thankfully. Or they maybe just pulled him off the track and shoved him straight into the trash compactor, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyways, Camacho here is still chasing, dealing with that lap traffic. Not too bad. A lot of drivers haven't made their pit stops. We see Lackney with a stop go 30, and as well as Wolfie with a stop go 30. A lot of drivers starting to make mistakes here. Track limits coming into play in this hour race. Jose, why do I always think your name's Juan? I apologize. Jose, race gone from bad to even worse, to even more worse, to just, how can it go even worse? Still down in P11 though. For everything that's happened, not the worst result. But here we go, Camacho gonna have the inside angle on the marbles. Down the inside into the chicane. Seals the overtake before the corner. Carnes basically lets him by. And we see a yellow flag from Carlos Guzman. What happened here? As he looks like he's all on his lonesome right now. We see the car starting to get away from him, and it just understeers into the barrier, and he loses it. Carlos keeps the car running at least, and I hate that it puts us underground. Keeps the car running, stays in P4. Looks like that had minimal damage on the car, but drivers making errors all the way throughout the field. So the Guzman brothers, both of them, making mistakes more or less simultaneously. A bit further down, Beachley here chasing Sapien down. See if he can get anything done here as they're lapping Mike Burkov in that 74 Audi. We see side-by-side Audi GT3 and GT4 action there. Yeah, you might be right, Bacardin. I didn't think tire deg was going to be too much of a factor on this track, but it looks like I was wrong. These drivers pushing to the absolute limit. And we see there, getting by Afonso, who's a lap down, still yet to pit. Maserati not having the greatest race, unfortunately. See a lot of drivers on track here, sort of settling into their positions. Very comfortable where they are. We see Lackney in the pits. Yeah, we are approaching that hour mark, though. We're currently 45 minutes in to this hour and 15-minute race. Wait, yeah, hour and 15, I think. Was it an hour and a half? I don't remember. Anyways, we're here. We got 30 minutes left. That's all I know. Buckman's chasing down Lottis. Lottis still yet to pit. So, presumably not going to put up too much of a fight, I would imagine. As Bucknam isn't really Lottis's race. But we will see. As anything can happen in racing, and it normally does. As we've seen so far tonight. A lot of mistakes happening throughout the field. A lot of very talented drivers making some very easy mistakes and, well, ending up for the worst, unfortunately. Actually, Spool's down here in 20th. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's behind some of the GT4s currently. After pitting, that is not where Spool wanted to be, I would imagine. We'll see here, Eric Miller, still yet to pit. Currently 40 seconds ahead of Provolone. Provolone, first one to pit, are basically our race leader. And we see Mostachero with a yellow flag going in the pits. Oh, the stop go 30. Yes. Thank you. There's a lot going on in this race. Quite a bit to remember, but good, sharp memory there. And we see Wolfie chasing down Martin, actually, or no, was that no, that he is. See if he has the pace here in the next few laps. Hop on board with him, why not? In fact, we'll hop on board with Provolone, who is our basic, you guys have any requests for onboards, feel free to put them in chat. But I am going to go to car number 7 here of Camacho, who has to deal with quite a bit of lap traffic coming up here, so we can see some exciting lap traffic. Yes, it was 25-second pit time, mandatory fuel. Fuel is, doesn't matter how much you take, it'll be 25 seconds. So you might be right that it's an additional 5 seconds for tires. Macho here dealing with this lap traffic very handedly. And we see the race leader of Eric Miller coming into the pits just now. Looking like actually he got stopped very late there in the pits, but got stopped nonetheless, hopefully, for not to take a stop, go 30. Which we've seen quite a few of this race, actually, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, if Deg is looking as bad as it is, anyone who pit early is absolutely going to be regretting their decision here towards the end, as they're going to be on burnt up rubber. You want some Mostachero? No problem. Mostachero sort of on his own here, but we can do a quick little onboard lap with him. We'll go for a full one, as he's going to be rounding the final corner here onto the start-finish straight. Very high speed. Going to be charging his way here in that Porsche down to the 90. Up to 5th gear. Going to be braking at the 200 board. Late apex it. Running as wide as you can there. Going to be pushing into the S's here. Those GT4s very planted in the S's, as that uphill camber secures your car very nicely. But still, the Porsche, especially rear engine, wanting to step out at any time, flat out throughout the S's, onto the back straight, going down into the inner loop here, brakes at the 300 board. Car stepping out just a tiny bit at the front end, but that's what you want. Car biting perfectly, coming on the exit there, down to 3rd gear, rounding the outer loop into 2nd just for a little short shift. Got to get that rotation early onto the throttle. Just coasting through this sector, waiting for that camber to flatten out. That way you can get on that throttle and basically go all out here into the toe or the carousel. Very tricky corner, uphill with a camber. It doesn't look that tricky, but as you see there, it's a grass runoff area with a barrier. Any mistake and you're going to be in the wall. Coming into the heel here, once again, another heavy braking, but still high speed corner. We see a board on the road, because why not? Struggling a little bit. Mostachero pushing quite a bit, it looks like here. Coming through the final sector. Going to be rounding the penultimate corner here. Basically, just a lift through the penultimate corner, no braking, and then just a heavy tap of the brakes here for the final corner. Downshift to 3rd, and then back on the throttle as early as you can. Short shift up to 4th, and that's going to be a lap of the Glen. And Mostachero putting in a 1:57.3 that lap. And looking a bit up ahead, we see some battle in here with Masters and Carice. I think Masters was ahead at the start of this battle. Carice still challenging. Looking like they had a moment, but not quite. And we can actually, I want to go back and see that one as we see side-by-side action here. Carice trying to go around the long way there, but not quite getting it done. Running out of track, unfortunately. And we want to jump up here with Carlos Guzman, who's right behind Eric Miller now. Eric Miller coming out of the pits after Guzman's mistake in front of him. And I would imagine Guzman's not too happy with that. Especially, I mean, the mistake that he made was only self-inflicted, unfortunately, but he still wants that position. He's fighting for that podium, I can guarantee it, as we can see here. We'll hop on board with him as well. Carlos is going to be pushing to the absolute limit here, trying to chase down that Lexus. Using that slipstream all he can here. Don't think he's going to tuck into the inside just yet. I think you're right, Neltac. I'm keeping an eye on their deltas. They're closing. Right now, Moffat's currently staying about a second behind, and that was an easy overtake from Guzman. Miller letting him by, basically. We see yellow flag from Carnes. Might have been contact involved with the back marker there. Rejoins the track safely. Let's go back and see what happened here as we see him going around the outside of that Maserati. Oh, and he just turns in on him. I think, unfortunately, I want to say that's Gabe's fault. I'm not a steward. That one's fully up to the stewards, but by the looks of it, just from that angle, it looked like Gabe ran him out of track. I'm not sure, though. And Moffitt currently lapping. Yeah, Provolone must have had a mistake on that last lap. He lapped a 1:49.3. The Maserati did take that like a tank. Carlos is off along with the GT4 car there. I think that was Mike Burkov. I think we have another back marker collision. We see Eric Miller right behind them. The Honda going around the outside and just having a moment clipping Mike Burkov. Looking like the Honda, just the front end stepping out on him and unfortunately coming into contact with Mike Burkov. I think you can chalk that one down to a racing incident. Last 2 laps were 49s. Oh my. Provolone. Is Provolone struggling? Jose, he's facing the wrong way, but Moffitt is facing the right way currently and chasing down Provolone. Provolone not lapping good at all. Moffitt absolutely all over it. This is going to be his chance to take the race lead here. He's been smelling it all race. He's done nothing but sit and wait. And now he's going to try to take his opportunity round the outside. Not just yet. Going to go around the outside loop. Very, very high speed. Trying to take that alternate line. Lap traffic getting involved, getting out of the way very quickly. Provolone not giving an inch, though. Back markers getting heavily involved in this one. I'm sure Moffitt wishes they weren't there right now, but they are, and he has to deal with them. Plenty of back markers in front of him, too. Side by side. And I think this is going to be it. Moffitt very late on the brakes is Provolone for not having what... Oh, okay, a little too late on the brakes. He goes on to the marbles, and that's that. Moffitt takes the race lead. Very, very nice from Justin Moffitt, driving a superb race with 18 minutes left to go. And a bit further down, we see Beachley chasing down Guzman. I think that was actually Guzman getting by Beachley there. I want to go back and see that one as well. So we see a bit of 3-wide action for a second. And we see there Carlos Guzman getting by Beachley. Very nice overtake indeed. Carlos having to make that overtake probably more times than he would like to this race. Having a few self-inflicted errors. And now we see it look like Indelicato running off the track. Gives Spool a chance here. Spool's going to be looking down the inside. Has the speed. And it looks like Indelicato is going to give that to him pretty much. Lifts off early. Into the chicane, though. Whoa, he doesn't give it to him. He goes very late. Provolone right behind him, getting involved. Hopefully Provolone has the patience to stay out of that one. Don't get tangled up with a back marker. It's not worth it at this point. Got 17 minutes left to go. You're currently sitting in P2. Do not throw it from here. You got 4 seconds to Moffitt. He's struggling immensely right now, is Provolone. tires have fallen off completely. Let's go on board with him as he tries to deal with Eric Miller behind him and this lap traffic in front of him. He's struggling to get by Lackney. Lackney, who's not even on the same lap as him. Whoa, late on the brakes, car wiggling under braking. That Lamborghini already very unstable and a tire eater. And when it's already eaten its tires, it's even more unstable, which says something. And I want to see back here, actually, Eric Gukasian chasing down Gabe Karnas. Gabe running wide, but Eric following suit. Eric looking like he has the better run here. Gonna be climbing the hill. That Porsche looks like it's seen better days. Eric's BMW getting involved in a couple incidents earlier, but nonetheless, right now, gonna be going around the outside and gets that overtake sealed very easily. A bit further back, we see, ooh, this is that battle again with Provolone, Indelicato. We got Eric Miller involved. This is an absolute, cluster. We got a cluster of cars here trying to get by each other, all GT3s on different laps here. Honestly, this lap traffic is probably benefiting Provolone, despite the fact that it's making his tires wear a bit more. Oh no, Eric Gukasian and Gabe Karnas. What happened here? Need to go back and see that as we see. How did they get involved? Oh no. Eric Gukasian catching up with that GT4 Audi, and then Gabe just not having anywhere to go. But now there's more battling. We see Story getting lapped. Gabe flashing Eric Gukasian. Oh, that was Story flashing Karnas, I think, as an apology. But Eric Gukasian looking like he's going to have that position sealed. A bit further back, we have Paremba here chasing Bucknam. Bucknam as well. Going to be doing what he can here. Try to get by these back markers. Eric Miller. Or rather, he is a back marker. And is going to try to get overtaken. Blue flag is being waved here. Down the straight, we see Provolone going by. Eric Miller currently in P2. Provolone looking like he did make a mistake at one point, and Eric Miller pulled a 6-second gap ahead. Provolone struggling immensely, and there's contact! Oh, and there's more contact! Massive contact between the two Mercs. Even more. Martin, who was that? That was in Delicano? Someone just went flying. That was an Aston. Was that Masters? No. Oh, no. I didn't see it again, but that was absolutely terrible. Even more contact happening throughout this race, unfortunately. Looking at Guzman right now, who has the fastest lap, a 146.0. That's a stormer of a lap. I think that was maybe even faster than qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. So Guzman pushing the wheels off that car. Hate a bit further back, chasing down the other Guzman brother. Jose not having a great race. Neither Guzman, for that matter, is. A bit further back, we have Mostachero, though. Let's hop on board with Mostachero, actually. Chasing down Caris. Juan here, under pressure heavily. As you hear the flat out through the S's, all the way onto the back straight. Gonna come into the chicane, down the inside, late on the brakes. Really, really late on the brakes. Off the track, makes it stick. Not sure that's fully legal by, like, actual racing standards, but hey, he got it done. Makes the position stick for right now. Afonso here in the Mazda, chasing down Story in the Audi. Maserati having a very challenging race, as it's always a challenging race in the Maserati with no traction control. Maserati, oh my goodness! Maserati almost getting into a collision and then almost getting into a head-on with that immovable barrier. Hitting that barrier is essentially the end of your race. That thing is solid as a rock. We see our final drivers making some pit stops down in the back of the field. Actually, I think those are just drivers that have maybe pit for good. I'm not sure. Guzman here creeping up onto Camacho. Oh, so close. And there's contact just a bit, but Guzman backs out. Guzman can't afford to get into another incident here. With only 11 minutes left in this race, he's made a whoa! The GT3's round. Sapien. What happened here? Was there contact? Sapien getting out of line right there and just making a mistake. Goes into the barrier. So easy to make a mistake like that. Goes down to 7th place. Looking like he might fall down to 8th. Not sure. Gonna hold it for now. Guzman plows on though. Chasing down Camacho. These two. The history of this battle, or this race. Battling pretty much non-stop. And here we see a good opportunity from Camacho, but not make, or excuse me, from Guzman. And here he goes, around the outside. He's going to try to take the long way around. That's not going to work. I don't think he's going to go for the switchback, trying to carry the momentum onto the short straight. Going to have the inside line for the next corner. Not late enough on the brakes just yet. Holds the line, though. Both of these drivers giving each other plenty of space. Camacho taking that outside, or that inside line for this corner. Guzman going to try to carry the speed onto the start-finish straight. Not going to work for him just yet. That Honda, not quite with the power, but tucking out of the slipstream. Just having a little bit of a look into the 90. Going to get ready to come into the S's right on his tail. The S is not the easiest spot to overtake, but Guzman says, I do not care. I am coming by. Flat out, Guzman makes that overtake look easy on Camacho. Camacho, though, I don't think is done yet. We'll see if he can still fight with this for a little bit longer. As he's going to challenge back. It looks like down the inside. Thinks better of it, though. Into the chicane. Probably best. And it looks like Guzman secures that position. Here we go, back with the Mazda. Afonso here. Chasing down Story. Trying to take that alternate line through the 90. Oh, they almost make contact. That was very close indeed. And we see an amazing run here for the Mazda through the S's. Oh, but he has a really good run, actually. Like, almost too good of a run. Gonna take the outside line for the chicane here. And there's contact! Maserati going around. And are they gonna make it into the barrier? He stays out of it, but that tire set, both of their tires are gonna be done. Neither of them making it into the barrier, thankfully. But unfortunately, Afonso, having, in my opinion, secured that position, Story not backing out of it, I don't know. That's a really complicated one. I'm not gonna speculate on that one. There's a lot of perspectives that can be taken from that incident right there. So I will not speculate. I will just praise, as we see here, Eric Gakassian actually. Praise Moffitt in a little bit for leading this race. But Eric Gakassian here, side by side with Sapien, that bonnet flap barely attached. Running wide is Sapien. Eric Gakassian gets that overtake done. Sapien looking like he's struggling for pace in that AMG. after that incident where he spun out and unfortunately collected himself into the barrier. A bit back we have Masters side by side with Eric Miller in a different class, or rather different lap. Not much happening there. But let's take a look here at Moffitt, our current race leader, who has not led our race this entire time. Started pretty far back, well, not pretty far back, started back in P4, I think, and has done nothing but keep consistent. As you can see, I don't think there is a scratch on his car, which is extremely impressive considering we're we're over an hour long into this race. But Justin Moffitt driving superbly, I think it's fair to say. So far, that is. Let's not put a wrench in this equation just yet, I hope. Eric Miller also driving an amazing race behind him. Currently in that Lexus. Started in P2, I think, and is looking like he's going to finish in P2. Currently lapping Spool. Eric Miller with really nice pace. Provolone, P3 currently, with a 53-second gap to Guzman. So looking like he does have that P3 secured. Unfortunate result in Provolone's eyes, I will imagine, as I don't think he took tires in the pit stop. That tire deg with that Lambo getting the best of him. But nonetheless, looking like a podium result for him for now, barring anything crazy. Oh, he's got sim racing hacks now? Alright. Not really. I'm obviously kidding. Lottestone and P25 still yet to pit. That's very interesting. 5 minutes left to go. Gonna have to make that happen here soon. Like, very soon. Bit further back, leading the GT4 class, Mostachero in P17. Followed up by Carries, who's actually under a load of pressure from Will Brunner right now. Will Brunner gonna be going down the inside here. Great time to turn to him. And he's gonna make that overtake stick. Almost. Yes, he does. Okay. It was very close indeed. Juan. I don't think Juan is going to give up just yet as he takes the alternate line, and now there's a lapped car getting involved. Eric Miller trying to keep plowing on as he doesn't want to lose too much time either, but getting stuck behind Will. Finally looking like he's going to be unleashed here, as I think Will is going to brake a little early into this corner. Lets Eric by. Very nice. Holds that off for right now. Will has quite a bit of work to do till the checkered, though. Juan is not going to be given an inch, but currently a second behind. There's a bit of breathing room right now. Currently, as we're looking at Tanner Masters, actually, right now, who's also in a battle with Lackney for place. So we'll see if anything happens here. I think Lackney in that Ferrari not doing so well with that damage, it looks like. And now getting caught up in that lap traffic again. Or Eric Miller, who's also, I mean, Eric Miller is not on the same lap as them. So if they were to pass him, they would just get blue flagged again. Not that they're obliged to get out of the way. If they have the pace, they may stay, but wow, right there, speaking of running wide, Tanner Masters missing the middle pedal just for a slight second, forgetting that, you know, braking needs to happen eventually. But that's okay. Keeps it, puts it back on track. Honestly, maybe even gained a little bit from having a little bit of advantage, but who's counting? Ooh, and we see their big mistake, eating way too much curb. Wish I got hopped on board just a second earlier to see that. But not the greatest lap here from Guzman, or Tanner, excuse me. And Aussie Pride Gamer, thank you very much. We also got a follow there from Multi-Track Gaming. Thank you. Much appreciated, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Hope you guys are enjoying it. As we're coming to the close here, 2 minutes left of our round 2 of the GT3GT4 multi-class championship here at Watkins, Glen. And dead last is here as well, raiding with a party of 2. Absolutely awesome. Welcome, dead last. You're just in time here for the finish of this race, as we're riding on board here with a struggling Tanner Masters, who was pushing to catch, but unfortunately made a bit of a mistake. Currently, for anyone just joining us, we'll go ahead and go through the grid rundown one time. We got not grid, we'll just go through the top 3 of each. We got Moffat leading P1 right now, driving a superb race, not making any mistakes, not putting a foot wrong. Eric Miller doing pretty much the exact same, not putting a foot wrong. And actually, Eric Gukasian, though, yellow flag. What happened here? Looks like he's all on his lonesome. Hits the curbs, goes onto the grass a little, has a massive snap of oversteer, and goes into the barrier. That is not what you want to see on the second to last lap. But now we have Moffat starting his final lap, but back to it. Provolone P3 struggling immensely right now. Managed to get the pace under control, it looks like. But that deg was hitting him pretty hard. And unfortunately, he was leading the race, but the tire degradation just fell off for him, and he's now down in P3. Sitting in P1 for the GT4s, we got Mostachero down in P17 overall. P17, P1 in their class. Will Brunner right behind him, and then Juan Carries in P3. Moffat here. Not actually, it said it was the final lap. It's going to say that again, though. It lied. This is now the final lap, but it didn't say it. Moffat's so fast for the game didn't even recognize that there would be another lap. Here, Eric Gukasian on Sapien. I think we saw this earlier when Eric Gukasian got by Sapien, whose bonnet flap is not fully, or bonnet scoop, excuse me, is not fully attached. Eric gonna be waiting for his moment here. Half a lap to go. Down the inside, is gonna get that done nice and easily. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake. He doesn't. Sapien losing out there. Not quite handling that damage. Everyone else, though, just currently, I would think, is limping across this line. I think everyone's tires are absolutely screaming right now. Martin here coming up on Carnus. Carnus looking like he's struggling. Not sure what happened to Carnus's pace. We also see what the heck happened here. We need to go back and see this as we see some lap traffic. What the heck happened? Guzman? It's the last lap. What are you doing, Carlos? I mean, like, you know, it's all good, but Carlos, come on. Moffat getting first place. Awesome drive. Lottis with a 130-second penalty. Not sure what happened there. Eric Miller coming across the line for P2. Provolone going to be limping across the line here for the final podium slot for P3. Nonetheless, a great result. Let's pull up the overall. Provolone now crossing the line. Great job from him. Camacho going to be shortly crossing the line behind him. And we have Eric, I would imagine, here. Yes, Eric, hello.
Muff Miller, Provolone.
Yes.
Mostachero, Brunner, Kairis. Let me try and see if I can get them.
I very professionally have taken a picture with my phone. I'm sure, don't worry. Eric will be back, Vivacious. As he is just grabbing the winners of these races, or of this race, these fields. Still people crossing the line, of course. I should give credit to that. No one really battling right now. Everyone just sort of coming to the finish right now. We see these two cars on different laps coming across the line for P21, P22. Might as well go through the whole field if I can before people start leaving. We got Moffitt in P1, Provolone P2, Camacho P3 doing some donuts, Beachley P4, Eric Gakasi in P5. That's not right. We already have people leaving. All right, never mind. Beachley was P5, Eric Gakasi in P6, Guzman P7, Martin P8. No, Martin was P9, Sapien P8, Carnes P9, Vericosa P11, Guzman P12, Jose Guzman, Haight P13, Lackney P14, Masters P15, Wolfie P16, Mastachero P17, Brunner P. Okay. Then leading the GT4 field, we have A Mastachero getting first place, or P17, Brunner getting second place, or P18, and Juan getting third place, or P19. Muff, great drive. Awesome to see you here in the chat. Hopefully we'll see you here soon in the Discord, I will imagine. And it's actually here I see. Okay, cool.
Guesstimating.
Hola, boys.
Oh, yeah. Hello, hello.
Oh, we just... Okay. Yeah, alright, great. There we go. Hello, Eric. And Moffitt.
Hello.
Moffitt.
How's it going?
Great race.
Thank you.
You kind of didn't really race too much. You just kind of drove, and you won.
Yeah, that's kind of what it turned into, huh? It was a lot of fun, though. I was, I don't know. I just kind of rove and drove today, unfortunately, but it worked out good for me. I was hoping Carlos Guzman would be there, but get the Crazy Rabbits P1 and 2, but that's all right. I was just trying to stay clean with the GT4s and not dive bomb those guys too much and do anything crazy.
Looked like you were one of the few to actually succeed with that plan.
Yeah, it was. There was a couple sketchy moments, but I tried to pick my times. You know what I mean? It's better to, if I lose a little bit, than get bumped.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. As you showed, that definitely works out best in the end. So, great job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And we also have here Eric Miller. Great race from you.
Yeah, thank you. Just kind of the same thing as Moffitt. Just showed up, a little practice, and tried to just keep it clean and focus on just traffic management and not making mistakes and keeping the car shiny all race.
Well, once again, looks like you did that as well. Kept it fairly shiny. I don't think you had any incidents really at all.
Nope, just a few hold-up moments and some dicey moments with like different cars and different laps battling each other. But besides that, clean race.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's the hardest part, is coming up on a pair of GT4s that are racing each other. I'm like, man, I don't want to get in their way, but I really need to get through here. So hopefully I didn't mess up anyone's race.
And Provolone, what happened, brother? Your tires fall off?
You didn't take tires,
I
did you?
didn't take tires.
I figured. I was like, man,
Neither did I actually.
because you were right ahead of me when I pitted. Yeah, you were only like a second ahead when I pitted, and then when I came out, you were 10 seconds or more ahead, but I was gaining a couple seconds a lap. I'm like, he didn't take tires. And
Yeah, no, I
Lambo was
didn't.
gonna eat him alive.
Yeah, I figured I'd try it and see what happens. Still got
Yeah.
P3, so could have
Yeah,
been worse.
that's pretty awesome.
I think you also got unlucky with that that battle between Spool and one other guy that was a lap down and held you up. It looks like a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, a little bit, but you know.
Yeah,
And
I was
then, Spool, and I forget who he was fighting with, but they were fighting
Masters.
pretty
There
hard.
was, yeah, I didn't take tires either, and that was another thing I wasn't really pushing in the beginning. I was just driving as smooth as I could.
See, I
So
was
that's
wondering
why.
too. I'm like, maybe he's took full fuel and is just running like a fuel saving map or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think had I actually taken the correct amount of fuel, it might have been a little closer race. But hey,
Yeah, he might have caught me. Oh well. On to the next.
I think I would have been ahead of you out of the pit, but I think you would have been on fresh tires, so it would have been interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I always just go with tires for me, just because on crappy tires I don't race so good. So
Oh, great race overall from all you guys.
yeah, good race, guys.
And how about from the GT4 perspective, Andreas? How was it? Getting
Yeah,
passed by everyone multiple times.
yeah, that was pretty crazy. Not gonna lie, I I overfueled the car, and so I decided to just, if I could maintain in the beginning. I don't know if you saw, but I kind of let a couple of the guys go just so I could maintain a tow and keep it in the pack because I wasn't gonna take any tires or yeah, I didn't take any tires. I didn't take any fuel. So I guess I'm in the Porsche, right? So it's super slow on the straights. And Brunner was uh, flying in that McLaren. So the only option that I think I had was strategy wise to win strategy wise, right? So just keep it clean and yeah, and get as far ahead as possible as soon as possible at after the pit. Yeah.
Yeah, but still having to keep cleaning all that traffic must have been fairly tough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kares and Brunner were racing incredibly throughout the whole, first and second stint. So it was really, really tough to get past these guys.
I think,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, Carrie's Juan and Will, you guys were battling very close to the end there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Go ahead. Well,
I was gonna say, honestly, I wouldn't have fully called that a battle. The
Oh,
McLaren
okay.
had so much straight line speed. I kind of just I exited the S's and just powered by.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter how good of a run he had up the hill. The McLaren just was like, "Oh, haha, bye," to just about everything.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, I was able to put up some good pace on the beginning of the race, but I think I didn't save tires enough. So both Andres and Will was able to pass me throughout the race. So I went to the strategy to not changing tires. I think the guys also did that. But yeah, I think I just wasted my tires so much because they were like very very fast on the end. So congrats to both of them.
I I took tires on my stop.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that because you are so fast, like 1 second to 2 seconds per lap. So that's why I didn't defend because I thought that you took tires. So just wasting time defending you.
Oh, anyone have any other closing statements about the race they'd like to say?
Yeah, just
Oh.
how do you guys like the multi-class racing?
It's amazing.
It's nutty.
Love it.
It's
I
impressive
was
moments.
I was super impressed. Have to hand it to the split two guys. It was super clean. I had no issues.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a series like this for a while, so I'm happy. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, and Andreas, you're welcome for that. Like 3 minutes left. I had two guys battling behind me, and I would have tried to follow me through in that last corner. So I just held everybody up to keep you safe.
What?
Very nice.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yep.
Who are
And
you
if you,
fighting?
No, I was a lap ahead of them, but it was Spool and Masters were in an intense fight. I knew if I tried to go through that corner, they would have tried to.
Alrighty. So, Eric, you want to close down this stream with me? Or you got any closing statements?
yeah, it's a really fun race. I know a lot of people like Watkins, and it's there's a reason for it. It is really fun. So it's very roller coastery, very flowy. Really exciting race. And interesting outcome. I don't think any of these people have is that like the super regulars on the podium. So it's really good to see some new faces on the podium. Yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everyone for joining. We're gonna send this over to our boy Mike Clutch. Make sure you go and say hi to him. He's a legend. East Coast Mike.
Yeah, buddy.
I gotta rate him since he's live. So make sure you go show him some love. He's awesome.
Is he live?
Yes. He's driving currently, it looks like on Spa. I can't
Oh
tell.
yeah, he is.
Just from the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, let's go say hi to Clutch.
So,
He's big energy streamer.
so thanks everyone for joining. Hope you guys have a great night.